Madhu, Alex joining in. You've always been a very close watcher of the PSU story, and you've been very confident of that growth story for quite a while. A lot of these stocks, I think to a certain extent, one can call them a knee-jerk reaction. They got beaten down a little bit because of that capex number. Were you disappointed, or would you say that it's like the finance minister is saying, it's a very strong number? We're talking about 11.2 lakh crore that's going to be spent.
So Alex, actually the capex number is not disappointing. If you look at, you have to look at the overall capex and not only capex by the central government. Because in the budget, there is a lot of aid which is being given to state governments in terms of, and that money further gets invested into capex only. So if I include that, then the overall money is 15 lakh crores, which is roughly 15-16% higher than the last year number. And this is the big distinction. And if I include the capex being done by public sector enterprises, then that number goes to above 19 lakh crore rupees versus 17 lakh crores, which was there last year. So on the whole, even though headline number looks 10%, but actually the number is more like 15-16%, because capex, whoever does, whether central government gives grant to state government and they do the capex, or central government directly does the capex, it is one is the same thing from a country perspective, and rightly so, because of this enthusiasm that they managed to have very good capex growth. They managed to give 1 lakh crore rupees in the hands of consumer, and that is unlevered. It is like equity, and on top of that managed to have a 4.4% fiscal deficit. So on all front, this looks like a very good balancing in the budget. And if this gets achieved, I think 12 months later, we'll be very, very happy as a nation.
To that, then, if you're looking at your own portfolio and you're looking at stocks that you have bought and held in this pack that would benefit from this capex story, and you see a downtick in a few of them, are you reinforcing your positions, and how are you picking your stocks in this space?
So this year is going to be, I would expect the broad indices to be in the range bound manner, and we must not extrapolate the returns which we have made in the last 3-4 years, because last 3-4 years it has been an absolutely roaring bull market in equities in India, right? I would say it's a range bound market. It's going to be a bottom up stock pickers market, and because of the noise and volatility, if your work is ready, then you will get a lot of opportunities to pick stocks. So that's what I will be focused on this year. Wherever possible, if I have stocks which are very high value in terms of valuation and which have run very hard, so those are the companies which I would look to sell or trim and get into something which are get into things which are really value based, and there is still a lot of leg room to go. And mind you, again, the thing which I am mentioning, because of the market volatility, you will get excellent entry points on a stock specific basis in this year.
Kela, good morning. Neeraj here joining in as well. Would love to understand your thoughts on the basis.
Neeraj, good morning.
Very good morning, sir. Would love to understand your thoughts on the basis of some of the comments that have come into the global brokerage notes. Now, all of them, almost without exception, are pro large caps and not positive mid caps and small caps. They are making that bifurcation. I know you don't necessarily make that bifurcation, but I would love to know, would your portfolio now on also have a larger tilt towards the larger market caps as opposed to the smaller market caps?
Neeraj, it's a very good question. I have been always an investor who has always looked at risk reward rather than bifurcating the market in large cap, mid cap and small caps. I would say having said this, there is definitely more value into large cap companies. Given that last 2-3 years, they have not performed. A lot of large private sector banks have done nothing. A lot of large cap companies have not given returns. And on the basis of our internal work, we are trading at roughly 18 times next year PE multiple for Nifty as a whole, which is definitely a discount to the long-term last 10-year average. So there is clearly more value in large caps. Having said that, I would not like to say that I would not invest into small or mid-cap companies. There will be interesting bottom-up opportunities, and we will look at them. But the tilt clearly is more towards large cap for this year.